Hi there, welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you're not new here. My name is Gina and today I have another in-depth bag review for you. So I love Coach. This is something that has been well established on my channel, and I recently got a new bag to add to my Coach collection. I shared it in my full collection review, and that is the Coach Curve Zip bag. It's in this beautiful red ruby color, which is coming off a little more vibrant on camera than it is in real life. It's kind of like a classic lipstick red. And this is part of the reissue line or the re-edition line, the Coach Originals line. And I like name it by, I say a million names while I'm going through it. But this is such a beautiful little bag. So I want to show you a little bit about it, what surprised me about it, and show you what fits. So I have been thinking about getting an ergo for quite a while. It's a very classic Coach style, especially in the 90s, is very popular. You find them a lot on the pre-loved market, and they have been going up and up in price over the years. I actually purchased an ergo a while back when Coach did a reissue, I think in 2020, I want to say. I have that on my channel. It wasn't a good fit for me. I didn't love the color. I also realized I didn't love the seam going up the front. I really love how like clean and minimalist this style is. And that's one thing that I'm noticing, is that my favorite Coach Originals pieces are the ones from like the 90s for the most part. The 90s, maybe some of the early 2000s, but mostly the 90s ones. I don't love like the older ones, like the 1960s and those as much. They're a little more intricate. I think these ones are the ones that are like really great for my style and my personal aesthetic. I shared in my unboxing, this comes with the 2 tags like all of the Coach Originals do. Here you can see it says the Curve Zip bag, limited re-edition 1997. And this bag is quite different from the original ergo that I purchased because it's much smaller. So I had been on the fence about buying this bag when it came out. I loved it because I loved the original ergo. That one had a little bit of a buckle, but I was like, oh, I really love this. I loved that it came in the red, the green. Actually, all the colors are gorgeous. The maple, it was in maple as well, the maple brown. But I was on the fence because when I saw it in the boutique, I was like, oh, it's smaller than I thought it would be. It just felt a lot smaller. You can see here, it's pretty small when you look here. And then after I did a bit of research, I realized that this was part of the ergo line. It was called the Mini Zip. And so they've rebranded it, and it's called the Curve Zip now because it has this really gorgeous curve zipper here. And then when you open it, it's pretty tight, like it's a narrow bag. You can see here, it's like maybe 1.5 inches wide. It doesn't have a ton of depth to it. And the inside is relatively tight, and I think it feels tight because not only is it a narrow bag, but also it's a little bit deeper. And typically, like with my duffel 16 bag, I like for my bags, if they're deep, to have a really wide opening so I can just like stick my head in there and see my stuff. And this bag doesn't give you that, and I knew that going in. And so I sat on this bag for quite a while, several months, thinking about it. I knew I wanted a red bag to add to my collection that would be a really good everyday bag. I knew that I wanted probably a Coach red bag because I love how their leather patinas over time and ages, and I love the ruby color. And so I thought maybe I would try and find a red turn-lock backpack. But then when this went on sale and I went back to the boutique, checked it out again, I decided to buy it and see if I could like wear it around the house and if I actually minded the size. And so long story short, I was okay with it. I think for the price, the color, and just the shape, I kind of, when I realized it was going on sale, I was like, oh, if this style sells out and I don't have it in my collection, I'll be pretty sad because I think it's just a really beautiful shoulder bag. I think the drop on it for me is perfect. And then what really got me over the narrowness is I realized when I wear it, the narrowness is actually what makes this bag work so well because it doesn't feel bulky under your arm. And so for a shoulder bag, it either needs to be really soft and slouchy for me and have a low drop, or it needs to be pretty narrow so that when I'm wearing it, I'm not feeling like, oh, there's something like stuck under my arm. So all of that said, I will show you now what fits in this bag. I think I shared details on my unboxing, but like, you know, it's a very simple bag. It has this one strap. You can't add like a crossbody or anything like that to it unless you get really creative and like punch a D-ring in here or something, which I wouldn't do. And then it says the genuine glove tan leather on the bottom, as most Coach bags that are glove tan leather do. And then it also has an interior slip pocket that actually has a little button so you can close it up. And it has the story patch in leather, as you know, all Coach bags typically do. I already showed you the cute little ring with the Coach tags on it. I love the 2 Coach tags, and you can add bag charms here, which I don't do a lot of bag charms on my leather bags, but this is actually one where I feel like it would look really cute, like if I added a little something here, just because of the shape of it and because it is so minimalistic. Maybe I'll think about it if I find the right charm, I think. So, and then as you can see, it has the brass hardware all around, just in the zipper and then here, and it's very little hardware. So actually, I think this is a good candidate for like mixing metals. If you have like bag charms that are silver or other colors, it's a great one to like kind of mix metals with, because there isn't a ton of like brass in your face. And then the last thing is the leather stamp with the Coach 1941 right here. I really like finding where they hide that on these bags. Now I go looking for it as soon as I see them. So yeah, that's it for this bag. I've been wearing it for a couple of months now. I can share a little bit actually. In my Index app, I have been tracking my wears of my clothing and also my bags. Let me pull my phone out and see if I can count quickly how many times I've worn this recently. So 1, 2, I've only worn it 3 times in July. 4, 5, 6 times it looks like. Not as many as I thought I had worn it. Maybe because it's red, it stands out more to me, but about 6 times, which isn't too bad since I do rotate my bags quite a bit and I haven't had it that long. So yeah, I will show you now what fits in this bag. So first item, since I just pulled it out, is my phone. So I have an iPhone 14 Pro and it fits either way in this bag very easily. So, but I typically don't carry my phone in my bag. It's usually in my pocket for easy access, but it does fit in there if I need to pop it in there. I'm also currently carrying this small wallet. This is from Vera Bradley with little tomatoes on it. I love this little, this one. It just makes me very happy. I also like to carry my little Cezanne pouch, which I keep my keys in, which is very nifty. This actually might look pretty cute here too. I could clip it on. Oh, same with the wallet actually. This wallet has a little key ring on it. Let me see. I think it's actual key ring, so I'd have to put a clip on it, but that could be pretty cute too, since it has the red and red. Yeah, maybe. I don't know how I feel about having my wallet on the outside of my bag though. That seems to defeat the purpose of security. I have my hand sanitizer. I have a little Aquaphor. I've been carrying this reapplication, like this dry sunscreen, or not dry, this bar sunscreen to reapply. And then some sunglasses, which typically I don't keep in my bags too much because I'm usually wearing them when I'm out. And so all of that fits in this bag, which are all of my essentials. So I guess I can't really complain that it can't fit anything. It definitely fits. It's just how organized does it feel? Not very, you know? And then close her up. And I actually don't see any crazy bulging. There's a little something I could reorganize in there. So it looks really good. I could fit more in there technically, but I wouldn't overstuff her because I don't like when I see random bulging. I want to repack it and see if I do a little more thoughtful repack, as I typically would, how that would look. So I'm just going to stand up a few items since this is more of a little more of a vertical bag, and then set my sunglasses right on top. That actually feels a lot better. Let's see if you can see that. I don't know how well you're going to really be able to see that, but it's a realistic look of what's in the bag. And shuffled a little bit and then just kind of zip it up. About the same. Looks good. So yeah, it fits all of my essentials. It's perfectly fine. I think it's just that because it's narrow, it just feels like a little more of a effort to get everything out or see everything. It's just not a wide view of everything kind of sitting there nice and neatly. So that's one thing to note. But when I do wear this bag lately, I haven't actually been packing it with all of the things. It's really just my keys, my wallet, my phone's never really in there, my sunglasses are never really in there, and my hand sanitizer and my Aquaphor. So, and maybe my sunscreen. So then that lightens it up a little bit not having. So if I take my phone and my sunglasses out at least, it's actually, it feels much lighter. and it's much easier to see what's in there. Like I'm only grabbing for like 5 things. Let's see if that helps. Yeah. So yeah, that is it. That's what fits in my curve zip bag. I'm going to condition this bag because I do want it to soften up just a little bit. I'm actually going to condition all of my Glove 10 leather bags pretty soon, just because they all need a little love. And I do find that the Coach leather, like brand new, is just a little hard, and I really like am always aspiring towards that vintage supple Glove 10 leather feeling in all my bags. So I'm going to be conditioning her. I'm kind of curious to see if it darkens a little bit. I know conditioners typically have a little bit of oil in it, so I'm kind of curious to see if this red darkens just a smidge. So I can show a before and after of that too if you're interested. Anyway, let me know if you have any questions about any of my bags, but specifically the Curve Zip or any of my other Coach bags. You can leave them down in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.